The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar, Build Your Brand, How to Use the Power of Social Media in Your Career, presented by Mary Alice Barrows. My name is Sharon Ryan, and I'm in the alumni office here at William Patterson. Before I introduce our presenter, I just want to go over this for those of you who haven't attended a webinar before. You should be able to see the presentation right now on your computer screen. You should also be able to hear my voice, and you'll be hearing Mary Alice's voice soon through your computer's audio system. If you have any questions, you can type them in, and we will be monitoring your questions and answering them probably as we go along, because this type of webinar, you'll want to have answers to your questions as they pop up. So now I'd like to introduce today's topic and speaker. Mary Alice Barrows is an assistant director at William Patterson University, where she acts as a member of the employee relations team and works directly with undergraduate, graduate students, and alumni from the Cotsakos College of Business and the College of Arts and Com. Prior to working at William Patterson, Mary Alice served as the Career Development Specialist at King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Mary Alice received her Master of Science degree in Higher Education and her Bachelor of Arts degree in History Secondary Education from Marywood University in Scranton, Pennsylvania. You can connect with Mary Alice via LinkedIn at the LinkedIn site / Mary Alice Barrows, or via Twitter at MA Barrows. But I think that she shows this later in the presentation. In today's webinar, Mary Alice will show you how to build your brand and how to use the power of social media in your career. She will also focus on how to utilize social media, how to develop your personal social media strategy, and how to use social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Mostly LinkedIn. This is going to be with some other mentions of Twitter and others. So without further ado, I want to introduce our presenter, Mary Alice Barrows.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm looking forward to talking about how you can build your brand utilizing social media. As Sharon mentioned, if you have any questions that come up as I'm going through the presentation, please feel free to ask, and I'm happy to answer them as we go along. So we're going to start the presentation off with talking about social media in general and how to really utilize it to your advantage and build your brand. I wanted to start with just some snapshot statistics and taking a look at some of the trends that have been happening. So as you can see on your screen, about 70% of the global workforce is made up of passive talent who aren't actively searching for jobs, and the remaining 30% are active job seekers. So that is a very unique situation where you have a large number of people who are out there, who are involved in groups, organizations, and as opportunities come along that might help them better, advance, maybe relocate, whatever the case may be. So recruiters and companies are going to social media to not only find the active job seekers, but to really hone in on who's going to be who's going to have the best skills for the opportunity that they're looking for. And a lot of times they're going to the passive job seekers based on what they're putting out there in their profiles and on social media. 87% of active and passive candidates are open to new opportunities. The number one reason people change jobs is obviously for career opportunity. Top channels for people to use that are looking for new jobs are online job boards is 60%. Social and professional networks is 56%, and word of mouth is 50%. So the social professional networks such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, this number has increased, and it keeps increasing over the last couple of years. And I'm not going to be shocked in a couple of years from now if that could potentially be the number one way that people are looking for new jobs. The most important factors in accepting a new job are compensation, professional development, and better work-life balance. You can kind of see these are some of the candidate trends over the last 2 years. So I want to focus on the power of LinkedIn. And a majority of today's presentation, I'm going to be talking about really utilizing LinkedIn to build your brand, because this is probably the number one social media site that recruiters and employers are utilizing to look for new talent. Facebook and Twitter are some other ways that you can build your brand, and they have unique niches for connecting with employers, and there's different strategies for using each, and I will touch on that. But I just wanted to highlight LinkedIn real quick, because as you can see here with the statistic, it's the #1 source of quality hires. So this is the #1 place that employers are going to find and source new talent. Over 75% of people who recently changed jobs used LinkedIn to inform their career decision and also inform their network. Placements sourced through LinkedIn are 40% less likely to leave the company within the first 6 months, and LinkedIn placements are 2 times more likely to be high demand and above average hires. So recruiters, because of these statistics, are utilizing LinkedIn more and more, especially in their search for new candidates. So I want to talk a little bit about your LinkedIn profile versus your traditional resume. In the Career Center, I get this question a lot. Well, I have my resume. What does LinkedIn do? How does it help me in my job search? So having your resume, that's going to be the #1 marketing tool that you're going to use when searching for new opportunities. But LinkedIn, your profile, is going to also provide more depth, some personality. You're going to have an opportunity to have recommendations right on your page, and it's going to be the social media. It's going to be your social media brand and social media potential identity that's going to make your resume come alive. So just to compare, you can see on the screen that your LinkedIn profile is going to give you more room to elaborate on your experience, highlight maybe some things that you're involved in, not just professionally, but in your community. Civic engagement, volunteer work, committee work is really going to allow you to highlight all the work that you've done and utilize some of the portfolio pieces, including image documents, videos, link to external sites. So it's going to be a really nice portfolio for you to highlight all of the great work that you're doing and really build that brand and support what's on your resume. You can add in more information on your LinkedIn profile as opposed to your resume, because your resume needs to be very tailored for each job that you're applying for, but your LinkedIn could be a little bit broader and show all the different things that you've been involved in. LinkedIn also allows you to get recommendations right on your page. So you can go to past supervisors, past professors, colleagues, peers who have worked with you in all different capacities and have them recommend you and your skill sets. So this is something that is a nice added bonus when an employer goes to your LinkedIn profile that they can check out. And again, just like your resume, your LinkedIn is going to be a living, breathing document, a living, breathing place where you can keep updating and growing your experience as it happens. And not only will one person or the recruiter see it, but your whole network of connections will constantly see the changes happening on your LinkedIn account, and that potentially could help you find additional opportunities even when you're not looking. So just some general social recruiting facts. As I mentioned before, LinkedIn is the most popular, but Facebook and Twitter are, right behind it. Facebook is definitely used by companies for showcasing their employer brand, generating employer referrals, vetting candidates. Employers definitely will check your social media account. So before you get called in for that interview, they will peruse and Google to see if they can find you. Most of the time, your LinkedIn account is going to be, if you have one, the first thing that comes up. And they'll also check Facebook and Twitter to see if you have a profile or an account on there to kind of just get an inside look at who they're bringing in. And it's really going to be dependent on industry. So for example, if you're applying to a social media position, that employer, recruiter, supervisor is going to look to see what your social media presence is personally and professionally. Because if they are bringing you in, they expect you to be utilizing all of the different social media platforms. So they're really going to look. Whereas if you're going in for accounting, they might be taking a look at maybe just your LinkedIn, seeing if you have a Facebook. So it's really going to be dependent on the type of industry you're applying to and the type of position. But you as a user can definitely use Facebook, and you can use Twitter to make those connections, to build your network. Twitter is a unique platform where you really have an opportunity not just to get information, but to really build genuine relationships with people and find some specific industry related groups, Twitter chats, connections, utilizing all that Twitter has to offer. So I highly recommend, if you're social media savvy and you like utilizing the different platforms, Twitter is a really great way to build relationships, make connections, and have conversation. Twitter chats, they were really, really popular maybe about 2-3 years ago. They're still happening, and specific organizations, groups are hosting monthly, weekly, daily Twitter chats. And those are some really great forums. It's almost like a chat room where you can talk about specific topics or specific industries, specific there's questions, and you can really start to build relationships as you go back week after week to talk about, topics of, for example, we have a higher ed career development Twitter chat that happens through our professional association. And as you participate, you get to know the people and you really start to build relationships. So that's definitely a unique way that you can use Twitter as well as Facebook. Okay, so I want to talk now and focus on LinkedIn and how you can really build your profile. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, just go to linkedin.com and you can sign up and you can build your profile. I have some resources that I'll share with you at the end that will walk you through how to really build and create your account. So how does LinkedIn work? So it's a social network. You're going to be creating your account, and your goal is going to be to start connecting to people. So once you connect to your initial, they call it first connections. Those are typically your friends, the people that you know. Your second connection in that second circle is going to be your friend's friends. So those will be your second connections. And then in the third circle, you'll see it's your friend's friend's friends. So those are going to be your third degree connections. So as you begin making more first degree connections, your network is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And that's going to be very helpful as you begin your job search. So the benefits of using LinkedIn, it's going to help you build an online presence. So employers, as I mentioned, are Googling you. So you can go on, Google yourself if you haven't done so. It's kind of fun to see what pops up. This is an opportunity for you to really manage your brand. And if anybody is in marketing or worked in, digital space, it's SEO, so that's search engine optimization. This is a way for you to control what people search and see when they Google you. So if you have a LinkedIn account and that's going to be, they type in your name and that's going to be the first thing that pops up, you have a really great opportunity to manage that brand. So the more times your name gets clicked, the higher it will come up in that, in that search. So it also gives you an opportunity to connect in a meaningful way with alumni and other people within your network. You can research company career paths. It's a really great opportunity to do a little bit of research before you start your job search and see what type of positions, who works at the companies, what the companies are all about. You can explore opportunities with organizations that don't recruit on campus. So if you were majoring in a specific major while you were here at William Patterson, but now you've gone out and you've been working in one industry, but you have an interest in another industry, it really gives you an opportunity to really explore different opportunities. And it also allows you to build your networking etiquette and really connect and build those relationships. So how do you stand out to recruiters? So for example, I have, we're looking for a sales position. We have candidate A. So as the recruiter, how are they going to make that decision between candidate A and candidate B? And this is kind of a fun way. So both, for example, Grace and Christine have LinkedIn profiles. You'll see that Grace on the left has, she created her account, kind of put in her basic information, and she may have put it up there, but is not really paying attention to it. And I know a lot of people sometimes go on, create the account, and just kind of leave it there or forget about it. But just keeping in mind that that account is going to be out there and people are going to find you whether you're using it or not. And then Christine over here is a more active user, as you can see, where she put in a summary. She really built out her experience. So if you were the recruiter, which candidate would you pick? Most likely you're probably going to pick Christine after seeing, the depth of her experience compared to Grace, who just kind of put the bare minimum in there. So if you've created a LinkedIn account, but you're not really using it, or maybe you created it years ago when you were here at school for a project, keep in mind that information is still out there and and alive and well. So you want to really make sure that you're managing your brand. And if you're going to use LinkedIn, use it and put 100% of your effort into making this account be a reflection of you and not just putting out information and kind of forgetting about it, because it could also hurt you in the long run, especially if a recruiter happens to stumble upon your profile and is comparing it against one candidate versus another one. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to use your LinkedIn profile and build your brand and build your profile. So using a professional photo, this is really important. You want to put a face to your name, and especially if you have a common name where there's multiple people, let's say with the name John Smith, when you look that up on LinkedIn, you want to put your face to your name and really build your brand. Adding a photo to your profile makes it 14 times more likely to be found in those search results. So as you're building your profile on LinkedIn, you're going to see a percentage of completion. So the more complete that you can make your account, the more likely you're going to come up in search results. Adding a photo also adds credibility. It offers a first impression. Photos should be professional and be, from the shoulders up. You don't have to be in a suit, but like a nice shirt, a nice outfit that kind of shows your personality is highly recommended. Creating a headline is the next piece when building out your profile. So a lot of times on LinkedIn, it auto formats or auto saves to your first job. So you want to make sure that you don't click, the selection when creating your LinkedIn account that it will be, your headline will be your job title of your most recent job. You want the opportunity to customize this, because going beyond saying, I'm a project manager or I'm a project manager or career development specialist, I want to be able to highlight some of my skill sets and really make this a personal headline that connects to my industry, my skill sets, and what I could potentially offer an employer. So for example, you'll see we have some geared towards students. So like winter intern at All Right, adult literacy program at Symphony Space, and it kind of highlights some of their experience, their major. We have connecting to athletics. So you can really see the depth of how you can really build out your headline. And this is definitely important and a key thing in the search results. So some tips, basic tips for your headline. You want to highlight what your aspirations are. This is your slogan. This is the fact that you want people to know about you. Your headline should describe what you're doing now and where you see yourself in the future. So for example, business major seeking a marketing position, or engineering student excited about tech opportunities. Again, these are more focused on current students or recent grads, but you can really take this opportunity to really brand your headline. You might put, if you have a job in marketing or social media, for example, you might put something like social media strategist, public speaker, higher education professional, brand specialist, promotions. You can really target and use multiple phrases and keywords in your headline to highlight all your skills, your industries, and what your aspirations are. So definitely take advantage of this function of LinkedIn. Telling your story using a summary. So the next section when you're building out your profile is an opportunity to put in a summary. So this is going to tie everything together and give a nice little overview of who you are, what skills you have, and what you have to offer a potential employer. Whether you're looking or not looking for a new opportunity, it's still a great way to tell your story. Don't leave this blank, because this is a major area that employers are going to look at when they're searching for you. This is an area that it will pull keywords from and key skill sets from. So some of the biggest things to keep in mind are keep it concise, specific, keyword rich, typo free. You have an opportunity to really have a chance to make this and be creative with it. Showcase your personality a little bit. You can include hobbies, interests. You can write in your own tone of voice. So on a resume, we always tell our students and our alumni who come into the office that no personal pronouns can be used on the resume. So no I, my, no first person. It has to be action oriented. But on your LinkedIn, you have the option of doing it in that first person. You can say I, you can use my, you can do it action oriented, or you can even do it in third person. So you have a little bit more flexibility in really building out and telling your story. So you want to focus on what your skills are, your experience, and your future goals. So claim your public URL. So here's a link to my profile. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you have a LinkedIn account. This is your opportunity to claim your custom, address for your LinkedIn account. You can change it, edit it, update it at any time. This will be your shortcut to your LinkedIn profile that can be used outside of LinkedIn. So you could put this in the signature line of your email, on a business card, on your resume. This will really give you an opportunity to share with people your LinkedIn account outside of LinkedIn.
Mary Alice, this is
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question? There's a couple of questions, and one is, when you refer to the brand, are you referring to yourself as a person, but it could also be a company, right? You could put up a company page on LinkedIn.
Yes, you can have a company page. There's a couple different ways organizations or companies will do it, but you can definitely have a company page. Sometimes organizations will create groups as well, so there's like a group page. I know for the Career Development Center, we have a group for our office, and then William Patterson actually has a company page, and a lot of big companies, even smaller companies, will create a company page, and you could brand your organization.
Yeah, because I know some people are here to build their brand. They're growing their brand, maybe their company or their own what they're doing on their their own business. So
yeah, definitely. So everything that I'm talking about in terms of building your personal brand can be applied to building your company's brand. So utilizing your summary for your services, what you offer, would be the same thing as a person you're building and highlighting your skill sets that you could offer an employer. So just kind of take it and utilize the same tips geared towards your company and organization.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So if you're creating a LinkedIn account, you wouldn't be creating a page, you're going to be creating a company page as opposed to a personal page. So when you go into LinkedIn to create your account, there's a couple different options of what you can create in that startup sign up section. So if you have any questions about that, definitely you can reach out to us. And LinkedIn has some fantastic resources. They have resources for your personal brand and creating your own LinkedIn account. And they also have resources on LinkedIn for creating a company page and a company brand. So definitely check those out, and we could share those with you at the end. All right. So if you are creating this for highlighting your personal brand, definitely include some skill sets. If you're highlighting your company's page, there's going to be a section for you to highlight your services and what you offer clients. So it's going to be set up a little differently on the company page, but for the personal page, I highly recommend, including some of your skill sets, focusing on, what differentiates you from other people. Focus on soft skills, technical skills. These will help recruiters find you. And LinkedIn members with at least one skill tag get 13 more profile views than people that don't put in their skills. So just keep that in mind. When recruiters are on there sourcing for talent, they're sourcing by skill type. So if you have a certain skill set in your page or on your in this section, you're going to come up in those searches more often. So it's going to be a great way for some recruiters and employers to find you. So highlighting your experience, this is going to be the biggest chunk of your LinkedIn as well as your resume. So our advice is to take what's on your resume and put it directly onto your LinkedIn page. There's a function on LinkedIn when you're setting up your account where you can upload your resume and it will pull the key information from your current resume and make it digital into your LinkedIn account. You can also go in and retype everything too if it doesn't come over the right way, but definitely include your most relevant work experiences. You can describe your skills and accomplishments just like your bullets on your resume. You can include internships, jobs, part-time gigs, any type of leadership work experience that you feel highlights the experience that you want to have and connects to the positions that you are applying to. Bullet points are preferred as opposed to, paragraphs. So definitely feel free to build out your work experience. Your volunteer experience is a great thing to add, highlighting where you went to school, what degrees. Those are also important things to highlight under your experience section. There's a specific section for your education, so definitely highlight that you went to William Patterson. You can highlight any projects, courses, research that you may have done here. Although you may be out 5, 10, 15 years, it's still important to put where you went to school and what you studied, because it again will highlight and show up in the search, especially if recruiters are looking for alumni from certain areas. They have that ability to search that school. You'll also get more page views based on some of the statistics LinkedIn has put out. But it's a great way to highlight maybe some of the things that you can't put on your resume anymore just because you have so much work experience, but you want to highlight some of the key things, maybe leadership, athletics, things that you were involved in while you were here at William Patterson. And you can throw that on your LinkedIn account. This is, again, going to be that bigger piece of your story. Another function of LinkedIn that we talked about a little bit earlier is asking for recommendations. So you can ask, past employers, current employers, supervisors, professors, coaches, mentors, anybody that has had an opportunity to work with you and really build a relationship with. If you're creating a company page, you'll also have an opportunity to have people refer you on LinkedIn. So it's set up a little bit differently if you're creating it for your own company, but for your personal page, this is something I highly recommend doing and constantly doing. If you've hosted an event, or you participated in a speaker series, or you came back and participated in some alumni boards, organizations, you can outreach to the people that have invited you to participate and host or be part of a committee and ask them to give you a recommendation as well. It doesn't just have to be work or employers. It could be anything that you're involved with in the community. And if you feel that you did a really great job, you built a really good relationship or a program, these people can also highlight and speak to that great experience. The nice thing about LinkedIn is you can highlight your portfolio of all the great things that you've done over the years and attach them to specific jobs and other experiences, committee work, civic engagement. You have the opportunity to, upload media. So you can upload PDFs, you can upload links to external websites, videos, photos, PowerPoint presentations, papers, research that you've written. So this could be, if you're a recent grad, you can highlight some past, class assignments, extracurricular activities, projects. If you're currently working and have been working, if you've done any research, presentations that you are allowed to highlight and showcase, these are a great place to show some of your work, especially also if you're in the art field or writing or broadcast. Linking to any of your videos, graphic design work, anything like that is a great way to showcase some of the work that you're doing in your profession and also in any community organizations or committees that you're on too. So LinkedIn has some unique tools, especially if you're utilizing it for your own personal job search and brands. Groups is a great way to get involved and expand your connections beyond just your friends and fellow alumni. There's 1.5 million interest groups. So as I mentioned earlier, if you're creating this for your professional company or professional brand, that brand and that company can, I believe, join in on the groups. But if you can also create a group. So, for example, I belong to the Eastern Association of Colleges and Employers, which is all members, employers, higher ed professionals from Maine, I think, to North Carolina, and it's a group of all the different college career services and the employers that recruit at them. So we have a group on LinkedIn where we can share information, and anyone can join that group, even if they're not in the specific organization, but they want to be involved or learn more about what we do. So this is a great way to also, if you're an organization, a company, to get involved and meet with different people and really build the network. We have a WP alumni group on LinkedIn. So if you're a recent young alum, definitely get involved and join the WP alumni group. So again, LinkedIn groups can help you listen and learn, grow your network, demonstrate your knowledge, and get insider tips. Sometimes recruiters and HR staff regularly will post jobs in groups before they post them on the main job board. So it potentially can give you an inside look and tip on a new job that's coming up. And it also allows you to highlight and connect and share your knowledge on the field. And you never know who's in that group who can refer you or connect with you and say, hey, I loved your comment on this, suggestion or topic. Let's take this chat offline. Let's talk a little bit more about what you've done. I have a great opportunity that I think might be a great fit. So you never know where that conversation can come from. So definitely, use it as a way to look and listen and hear and take in all the information, but also don't be afraid to speak up, especially if you feel very knowledgeable about a topic or a question that has been asked in the group. This is a great way to build connections and network. So this next part, the University Alumni Portal, LinkedIn University, is my favorite part of LinkedIn. When we work with students in our office and we're talking about the job search, this is the first place that I go to talk about where some companies, organizations, where have past alumni gone. So if you're an alum and you have William Patterson in your education, you're going to be put into this LinkedIn alumni group. Or not group, but LinkedIn alumni section. So this is a great way, a great first place to start your job search. It allows you to search members who have gone to William Patterson by location, employer, industry, major, and skill. And a lot of times when our current students are like, well, I majored in business administration, where are alumni working? And we can pull it up and show all the different companies and all the different positions. And it really gives you an idea of all the different things that you can do and what companies these alumni have been working at and where could potentially be a great starting point for your job search. So you can, again, discover where your degree can take you, target companies. The alumni tool will display the top 25 employers for your school based on where our alumni are working. This is a great place to start your search and look more into these organizations. And you can also target specific alumni. Maybe you found one of your fellow alumni that you had a class with a couple years ago. Hey, we were in marketing class together. I see that you're working now at Wyndham. Let's connect. I'm really interested in learning more about how you got that position, how you got in that field, or let's catch up. This is a great way to start a conversation and reconnect with maybe some of your fellow alumni, classmates, and also if you're a recent alum, this is a great way to get some information and learn about the career paths from, alum that have graduated before you. Company pages. So if you have a company or this is a company page that you would be able to create. So LinkedIn has been updating and making the company pages a lot more robust. From when they first started. You can see all the employees who work there, how you're connected to them. But as someone who's going to be creating a company page, this will all be in your setup when you create that page, when you sign up for LinkedIn. So you'll have an opportunity to put in, information about your company, put up videos about culture, what it's like to work there, what services you offer. So it's a great opportunity to brand your organization on LinkedIn. If you're searching if you have an individual account and you're utilizing this for, your job search or just to connect and build your network, you can really get some great company information from the LinkedIn company pages. They have videos. You'll have opportunities to kind of see who in your network works there and potentially reach out to them and learn about the company. Do they like it? How they got hired? What's the interview process like? Can they connect you to a recruiter? So it's a really great way to kind of do a little research before you go in for the interview and also as you're going through the job search. Again, with the company and job search portal, you have the opportunity to search for jobs right on LinkedIn. So if you're using Indeed, Monster Career Builder, LinkedIn has a fantastic job search portal. So there's two specific ones. There's one for student jobs. So if you're currently or just a recent alum, current student or recent alum, you can look under the student jobs portion and it'll give you more targeted jobs for entry level and or internships. For the regular job LinkedIn portal, it'll be connected to your LinkedIn account up the top. You can just click on the job section and you can search for different jobs, different industries. And the more you search a specific area, it will pull recommendations for you. And based on your work experience that you put in your experience section, it'll also recommend experiences and jobs that connect to that industry. So it's a really great opportunity to discover new opportunities. When you click on the jobs, it usually tells you who the poster is, so you can connect right to the recruiter and outreach to them and learn a little bit more offline about the opportunity. So it's actually giving you a name of the person posting the opportunity. So it's a really unique way to look for opportunities, and I like the functionality and the look of it. It's really easy to use, and it gives you a lot of good information about the opportunity.
Mary Alice, I see it says in the green box, be active and keep your profile updated. Somebody wrote a question saying, is it enough to keep up your profile on LinkedIn, or should you be active on the site for job opportunities and recruiters?
So that's a great question, and everyone that you are going to talk to is going to have a different opinion. So if you're actively looking for a job and you're in the market for a new job, I would not just have my profile updated and up there. I would be actively using LinkedIn. So I'd be in groups. I'd be trying to comment and post something on my page at least once a week, share something, comment on something, because the more you use it, the more your name's going to come up in the search results as well. So if you're actively thinking about making a switch in your career or looking for a new job, I would definitely be on there utilizing it and not just having your profile up. If you're happy and you don't foresee yourself going anywhere, I would definitely keep your profile updated. My goal would be to go on maybe twice a month and put up a status update, share an article, comment in a group, or comment on some of your friends posts and updates, just to kind of stay active. Check your friend requests, your connection requests, and just kind of just keep using it. You definitely don't want it to be a stagnant profile where you just go in and update your information, every couple months or every once a year, because you could be missing out on, some new opportunities, new connections, and definitely I would try to be an active user. So if you're just going to kind of put up your information and leave it there, it'd probably be more beneficial for you not to have it than to be more of an active user. You don't have to do it every day. I don't think I check mine every day. So I would definitely, set some time aside to maybe do it at least once a week, twice a week, or, like at least once a month if you're not really utilizing it for an active job search.
So even if you're trying to build a business, that would be kind of the same advice, right? Because
same thing. Yep. It works both ways. If you have a company page, you want to keep updating it, you want to share new content, it's a great way to, maybe you're not necessarily using LinkedIn for the only method to build your business. I think Facebook and Twitter have definitely more of a reach when you're building your business, but keeping your company page updated, maybe sharing a video, sharing some articles or information about what you're doing, at least once a month or a couple times a month would be definitely helpful. I think Facebook and Twitter, if you're building your business, is going to be something that you should have daily content on a, at least once a day at minimum, if not more.
Great.
All right, so I'm going to keep going. If you have more questions, feel free to send them to Sharon.
Yeah, but if anyone has any more, type them in.
Okay, so definitely utilize the job search portal on LinkedIn. It's a fantastic way to look for opportunities. And if you're a company and you're looking for talent, I know on the company side, you can definitely go in and utilize this function as well. Okay, so when you definitely want to customize your communication. As you're starting to build your LinkedIn network, you'll have the opportunity to invite people to connect with you. And there's different categories on how you might know somebody, but you want to make sure in the little text box that you put in a personal note. So LinkedIn autofills it to say, I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn. So that's great, but people are going to get hundreds of those, connection requests. And over time, it can become very overwhelming as you're getting these connection requests in. And they might say, like, why does this person want to connect with me? I don't know them personally. I haven't met them at an event. I didn't recommend that they connect with me. And again, it's like a stranger. I'm asking them to be their friend. So a great way to differentiate yourself and kind of highlight why you want to connect with them is to customize this communication. So a little introduction. There is a character limit in this box, so you have to be brief and to the point, but just who you are, why you want to connect, and how they could help you or how you can help them, and a nice thank you. So if you're a recent alum and you're looking to connect with a fellow alum who works at a company, you could say, I see that we went to William-Patterson together. I'd love to connect with you and learn more about how you got into your role as a project manager at Unilever. Would you be open to setting up an informational interview? Nice, easy, quick way to let them know who you are, why you want to connect, and how they can help you or how you could help them. Okay, so now I'm going to briefly highlight about building your network. Just some quick tips and why it's important to really utilize your network. So whether you're going on LinkedIn or even offline, off social media, or utilizing Twitter or Facebook or other social media sites, you want to get out of your silo. You don't want to make the mistake of waiting until you need a job to start building your network. Relationships take time, and finding a job takes time. So it's easy to break out of that comfort zone early on and start developing and building your network with not family, coworkers, friends, people you meet at networking events. You never know when down the road they might be able to help you or you might be able to help them. I always say, the social networking and the networking piece is going to be the long game that you're going to be playing. It's not going to be the sprint where you apply to a job, they get in contact with you, and you're going to meet someone, they're going to offer something to you right away or give you a job offer. It's going to have to put a lot of love and time and relationship building into really building your network out, but it will pay off for you in the end. Over time, you're going to make some great connections. And as you develop those connections, you never know where that relationship can take you. You want to, keep in contact with your present network and your past network. So any former mentors, professors, reach out to them, say, hi, I had you in class for this class a couple years ago. I just wanted to say thank you. I love learning about X, Y, and Z. I'm currently working, at PwC now, and what I learned in your class was a great, foundation. And just kind of send a quick note, congratulations on this job, or congratulations on that promotion, as people post. And it's a great way to just stay in contact. You don't have to have a lengthy conversation with them, but just kind of a note of, you're acknowledging them and just kind of saying, hey, how's everything going? Building, again, they call it on LinkedIn like your own board of advisors, but people that you can consult with and connect with as you're going through the job search and as you're just building your career. People that are going to be help and support you and act as a mentor for you. So LinkedIn kind of talks about it. I took it right from the LinkedIn job search guide. Three types of connections: the advocate, the strategic, and the subject matter expert. No matter if you're job searching or as you're building your career, your company, it would, connect to that as well. You want to have someone that knows you on the personal level, that can act as a sounding board, and that can kind of speak to you based on how I know you, your values, your interests, what you're passionate about. I think this is a great thing or a great fit for you. You want to have the person who has that strategic and well connected, who can connect you and be that relationship connector as you're going through your career. So past alumni, past internship advisors, past professors, they're willing to kind of help you make those connections. And then you want those subject matter experts. So people who are industry experts in the field that you want to go into, that can kind of give you a realistic opinion and be someone to sound off ideas on. Alumni, professors, family contacts, and you can ask more industry related information. So whether you're a student, an alum, LinkedIn has a great resource for the people creating their professional profiles and personal profiles, and you can click on it. If you just Google LinkedIn for students, a great resource will come up with videos, tips, tip sheets. There's a profile sheet that walks you step by step on how to build your profile. I know LinkedIn also has company information and a lot of resources for people who want to build their company pages as well. So if you Google LinkedIn and company pages, resources will come up for you as well on that. This is my contact information and our Career Development Center information. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us. If you've graduated within the past year, you can make an in-person appointment with us, and all alumni have lifelong access to the Career Center through our Trailblazer Job and Internship Board, as well as any of our events that take place here on campus. So if you have any questions about building your brand, utilizing LinkedIn, definitely feel free to let me know.
So if anyone has any questions right now, you can type them in. I just want to give you all a heads up that we have a few more webinars coming up in December, actually about 4. One is going to be the library here at William Patterson now has, they're going to allow alumni to get access to all of their brief reference journals and things. So if you want that for your work or if you're going back to school, it's going to be available. We're going to do a webinar on that on the 4th. We're also doing a webinar on interview skills. So if anyone is looking forward to having a job interview in the new year, you can attend our webinar on that. That's on the 6th. And then we have a couple other ones, but we are, I want to mention specifically because this webinar was really about, social media and getting your LinkedIn page up and going. But we're going to be having a webinar on utilizing the social media from a more, I guess, like an SEO, getting their search engine optimization and getting more likes and things like that from a more computer guy standpoint. So if you're interested in something like that, that's going to be in January. So just wanted to let you all know. But if anyone has any questions for Mary Alice, type them in. And if not, we'll wait like a few minutes. Thank you, Mary Alice, for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
And we hope you guys like these webinars. We'd like to help you in your career search, especially with the year ending. Time to look for a new job, everybody. Right, Mary Alice?
Exactly.
Is this the time, seriously, if you're looking for a new job?
There's different, ebbs and flows in the recruiting. For more experienced hires, it's definitely, as new positions open up, companies are definitely going to be starting to recruit when their new budgets come out in January. So the year end now, so I would definitely do some research, and then in January, that's when you'll see a lot of companies, if they get the new budgets approved for the new year, that's when a lot of the new positions will get posted.
Great. Okay, well, there's no other questions. If you do have any, you'll get a short survey when you close out of the webinar. If you do have anything that you want to ask of Mary Alice, just type that in and she will answer it. We have recorded this webinar. It's going to go up on our YouTube channel, and I will be emailing everybody a little link to the YouTube channel along with, if it's okay, a PDF of the presentation. Mary Alice, is that cool?
Perfect. Yep. That's great.
So thank you for attending, and thank you very much for doing the presentation. And we hope we'll see you again. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody has a question. No, that's it. This is, thank you. We hope this helps. So, okay, we will talk to you all soon again, and thanks for attending. Bye,
Have a
everybody.
great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.